The dreaded conspiracy selection pack introduced us to 2 more members of the Generaiders clan. These new additions will certainly generate some new combo lines, so in this video we'll go over some combo lines that Generaiders can pull off. And we start by using one of the new cards, Vala, and the easiest combo it can perform. We start by using Vala's special summon effect by discarding our other Generator monster. We could have discarded any Generator card, but by discarding the monster we can special summon it with Vala's on summon effect. Now that we have 2 level 9 monsters on field, we'll use both to exceed summon Levitian and end our turn. Somewhere during the opponent's turn we can use Levitian's quick effect to tribute itself and summon Jormungand. And since Levitian had 2 materials before using its effect, we can attach 2 cards on field or from our hand to Jormungand. Obviously we'll attach 2 cards from our opponent's field, if possible. Also, in the end phase we can fish for some draws, but that will also give our opponent a draw, which may not always be wise to do. But what if we have one of the 4 Generator cards in hand that we prefer to see in combination with Vala? We'll special summon Vala by discarding Loptra. On summon, Vala will trigger, giving us the opportunity to summon any Generator from hand or grave, and we'll summon back the Loptra. Then we'll use Loptra's effect tributing itself to special summon a level 9 Generator monster from our deck with a different name, and we'll summon Mardel. On Mardel's summon we get to fetch any Generator card, so we'll add the boss stage. Activate the boss stage, and use both Generators on field to exceed summon Levitian. Then we'll end our turn. On the opponent's draw phase, since they've just drawn a card, the boss stage will trigger. Now we are allowed to special summon a Generator from our deck and will summon the Har, which will function as an Omni-Negate. Also, the remaining spots on field will be filled with Generator tokens, therefore it is quite helpful to have summoned the Levitian in the extra monster zone. Then somewhere during the opponent's turn we can use Levitian's effect, tributing itself to exceed summon Jormungand. Similar as shown before, when we summon Jormungand with Levitian's effect, we can attach 2 cards from the field to our just summoned huge snake. Another funny interaction this deck has is Jormungand's effect in combination with Har. When we use Jormungand's effect to draw a card and then attach a card from each field/hand to our monster, Har effect will trigger to discard a monster from our opponent's hand. So even though they'll draw a card, they'll often go -1. And this last combo will showcase monstrosities used with the Generator monsters. Now we'll normal summon Loptra and we'll tribute it to special summon a Mardel from our deck. On summon, Mardel will trigger, giving us the opportunity to once again add boss stage to our hand. Then we'll activate the World Legacy monstrosity targeting Mardel to special summon to other level 9s from deck with a different type and attribute, so we'll summon Vala and Har. We will not use Vala's effect here as we plan to do that later. Also, do keep in mind that the monsters summoned by monstrosity will be destroyed in the end phase, but we'll find a way to circumvent that, namely to exceed summon Levitian using both monsters. Then we'll activate the boss stage, before using Levitian's effect to exceed summon Jormungand. On its summon we'll specifically add the Loptra and monstrosity to Jormungand. Next we'll use Jormungand's effect attaching Loptra to let us, and the opponent draw a card, prompting both of us to reattach a card from our hand or field to Jormungand. This will trigger boss stage, giving us the opportunity to special summon a Generator from our deck and we'll special summon Hela. Then we'll use Hela's effect tributing itself to special summon a Generator from our grave and we'll revive Vala. Now we will use Vala's effect, that triggers on summon, to special summon the Har from our graveyard. Next we'll overlay Mardel and Vala to exceed summon Enter Blafner, and use its effect to banish a random card from our opponent's hand by detaching 1 material. Since we now have 2 exceed monsters with the same rank on the field, we will use them both to go into our Draco Future and summon it in the extra monster zone. And we'll end our turn here. Then during the opponent's draw phase, the boss stage will trigger, allowing us to special summon another Generator, and now we'll go into Nidhogg for a possible summon negate. The remainder of the field will be filled with Generator tokens, which we can use to pay for the bosses their effects. Then the question remains, how does this deck stack versus the meta? Well, when you draw gold, you can build a relatively strong board which is near impossible to break. But more often than not, I have found that your draws are mediocre or downright awful, causing you to put up a weak board or a board with hardly anything at all. So when you draw well, it is really fun, but due to the sheer amount of high-level monsters, you will break on occasion, causing the deck overall to be weaker than most meta decks. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you need anything else to watch, let the YouTube algorithm introduce you to some videos that are put on your screen about now. Happy viewing!